Hare Krishna. Good morning, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class, which is from Canto 1, Creation, Chapter 5, and Text 30. So this will be given, it's a recording of a class given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. And please kick up your the volumes on your devices for this, but sometimes the volume is a little low. All right, without further ado, we'll get started right now. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Jnanam guhyatamam yattat saksat bhagavatoditam anvavochan Gamishyanta Kripaya Dina Vatsala Jnanam guhyatamam yattat Saksat Bhagavatoditam Anvavochan Gamishyanta Kripaya Dina Vatsala Jnanam guhyatamam yattat Jnanam guhyatamam yattat Saksat Bhagavatoditam Anvavochan Gamishyanta Kripaya Dina Vatsala Jnanam guhyatamam yattat Saksat Bhagavatoditam Anvavochan Gamishyanta Kripaya Dina Vatsala Jnanam knowledge Guhyatamam most confidential Yat what is Tat that Sakshat, directly, Bhagavata, Uditam, propounded by the Lord Himself, Anvavochan, gave instruction, Gamishyanta, while departing from, Kripaya, by causeless mercy, Dinavatsala, those who are very kind to the poor and meek. Translation. As they were leaving, those Bhakti Vedantas, who are very kind to poor-hearted souls, instructed me in that most confidential subject, which is instructed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself.
Jnanam guhyatamam jat tat sakshat bhagavato ditam annavochan gamishyanta kripaya dinavasala. So, yesterday we have been discussing the symptoms of Guru and the symptoms of disciple. Who is actual disciple and who is actual Guru. It is stated by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sakshad Haritena Samasta Shastrai Ruktastatha Bhavataiva Sadbhi Kintu Prabhoja Priyaiva Tasya Bande Gura Sri Charanaram. So, Guru's position is very exalted. Why exalted? Because he is the confidential servant of Krishna. Kintu prabhurja priyaiva tasya. One, suppose you want to do some business and with some firm and a representative comes to transact business, naturally one tries to satisfy that representative so that the business can be done very fairly. This is natural psychology. Similarly, Kintu Prabhurja Priyaivatas, Guru is very dear to Krishna because his business is to serve Krishna. His business is to execute the will of Krishna. Therefore here it is said, Jatta Sakshat Bhagavato Ditam. Don't disturb in this way. Sakshat Bhagavato Ditam. Sakshat means directly. What was spoken directly by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that is Jnanam, that is real knowledge. Jnanam Guhyatamam. Guhyatamam, most confidential. Guhya, Guhyatara and Guhyatamam. What is that verse in the 18th chapter? Guhyat Guhyatamam Prabhakshami. The conclusion is that the most confidential knowledge is that which is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. And what it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, Guhyat Guhyatamam. Find out this verse. Could not? Before Sadhudana. Yes. Read
Thus I have explained to you the most confidential of all knowledge. Deliberate on this fully, then do what you wish to do.
So Krishna personally giving the most confidential knowledge. And here it is also mentioned that the saintly persons, the Mahatma, they simply spoke what was spoken by Krishna himself directly. That's all. Here it is stated, Annavachon Gamishanta Guyatamang Jatta Sakshat Bhagavatu. This is very important statement. Jnanam Guyatamang. The most confidential part of knowledge is that which is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. Anyone who is interested in spiritual knowledge, they will benefit simply by accepting what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. This is Jnana. That is also stated by Krishna, Etat Jnanam, Etat Annathajat Ajnanam. Anything beyond this knowledge, what is spoken by Krishna, that is ajnana, ignorance, that is not jnana. Unfortunately, it has become a fashion now to interpret Bhagavad Gita in their own foolish way and mislead the public. These I have repeatedly spoken in many places that in the Western countries, so many Swamis and Yogis, they went there for the last at least 100 years. 100 years from India, many Swamis and Yogis had been, still they are going. But they could not turn even a single person to Krishna consciousness. Not a single person. Throughout the whole history of these 100 years of Swamis going to the Western country, but could not turn even a single soul to understand Krishna. This is a fact. It is not that I am very proud. No. The truth must be spoken. Why they could not do so? The defect was that they did not say what Krishna said directly. They said their own words. They manufactured their own philosophy. Here, the saintly persons, the Mahatma, Gomishanta, when they were going, they confidentially said what was spoken by Krishna directly. This is the secret of success. Try to understand. Annavochan Gomishanta Kripaya Dinavasal. Guru or Mahatma, they are very merciful. Merciful in this way that they know how a person can be elevated to the topmost platform of knowledge and they can give it. And this is not very difficult. It is said here that Jatta Sakshat Bhagavato Uditam. This is mercifulness. A guru's business is to deliver the same message as Krishna says. Then he is Dinavatsala. Otherwise, if he says something else, he is a cheater. He is not Guru. He must be to the suffering humanity, being kind upon them, Dinavatsala. Dina means very poor. poor in knowledge. At the present moment, not only at the present moment, always, those who are in the material world, they are very, very poor. Very, very poor. Girinam dina chetasam. Because their mind is very crippled. They are thinking that this duration of life, say 50 years or 20 years or at most 70 or 100 years, this is everything, that's all. Therefore, they are very poor. Their expansion of knowledge is very, very meager. And it is the business of the saintly person to be kind upon them. That this is not the life. You are thinking, making adjustment to live for 50 years or 100 years very comfortably. Or in next life, Kurmis, they also take consideration of the next life to be promoted in the heavenly planet or other higher planetary system. But still they are poor. Poor. Because they are lacking in the knowledge of eternal life, full of knowledge and blissfulness. That they do not know. Satchidananda life. So it is the business of the Mahatma to enlighten them to the real platform of life. Krishna says personally, Mamupeta kontiya dukkhalam asasatam napnuvanti mahatmanam samsiddhim paramangata. This is real life. To go back to home, back to Godhead, Krishna, Mamupeta. If you go back to home, back to Godhead, that is samsiddhim parama. That is the highest perfection of life. But generally almost, why generally? Almost everyone, 99.9% people, they want to become happy within this material world. Therefore they are poor, very, very poor. And the Mahatmas, they give the knowledge that this is not life. This is a temporary platform. Asasatam. Dukkhalayam asasatam. This is confidential knowledge. You are trying to be happy. Suppose Brahma, he lives for many millions of years. Still it is dukkhalayam asasatam. That life is also temporary. What is millions of years duration of life in comparison to the eternal life? So, beginning from Brahma down to the small ant, whoever is within this material world, it is to be understood their understanding is very poor. And the Mahatma, being kind upon this poor soul, they deliver the same knowledge as Krishna gives, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam. This is Guru's business. Do not manufacture anything. There is no question of, there is no need of manufacturing. Simply, you speak to the suffering humanity the same thing which Krishna says. Sakshat Bhagavata Uditam. This is the business of Guru. It is clearly said. Narada will explain further in the next verses how he became advanced. This verse is very important. That Jnanam Goyatamam Japtat. Actually, perfect knowledge you can get from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in Parampara system, you get that knowledge. Evam parampara pratam imam rajarsayo vidu. Parampara means they do not change the word of Krishna. That is parampara. Krishna says, Matmana bhavamad bhakta madhyaji mam namaskuru, And the parampara system says the same thing. No change. They never say that I have now become Krishna and you surrender unto me, think of me. There are many so-called incarnations. They are preaching like that. You think of me. Same, repeating the same word in his own favor, not in Krishna's favor. That is not Mahatma. That is Duratma. Mahatma means who always speaks in Krishna's favor. That is Mahatma. This is the purport of this verse. Jnanam guhyatamang jatta sakshat bhava. Bhagavan said, sarvadharman parittajya mamekam saranam braja. So our business should be to repeat the same thing, that you give up all nonsense engagement, simply surrender to Krishna, simply think of Krishna, simply become a devotee of Krishna, simply offer obeisance to Krishna. That will make your life successful. This is Mahatma's business. Sakshat, not indirectly, directly. Directly here Krishna says, Guhyat Guhyatamam. Read that verse again.
Itite jnanamakhyatam guhyat gupitaram maya immersyai tadasheshena
Jathechasi tatha. The word is used there, Jathechasi tathakuru. We have got the little independent. Krishna says, Sarva dharman parittajya mamekam saranam braja. But why people are not doing that? Because they have got little independence. Every living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna has got the quality of full independence. Naturally, the part and parcel of Krishna, it has also independence. But that is not absolute independence. Just like independent country, America, independent country. We are also now independent country. But the citizens, they have independence dependent on the state independence, not absolute independence. Similarly, we have got independence. We living entities, we have got independence, but dependent on the independence of Krishna, not absolute independence. So, therefore we become entangled in our own karma. Krishna does not give anyone a position or karma. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. That he does not give anyone a better position or anyone a inferior position. Everyone creates his own position. Krishna simply orders that this is your position, now you enjoy or suffer. We create our own position. Therefore, the most confidential part of knowledge is, Krishna says that sarva dharman parittajya mamekam saranam braja. That is the guhyatamam, jnanam guhyatamam, the same thing as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study of Srimad Bhagavat. One who has understood Bhagavad Gita properly, he can understand what is Srimad Bhagavatam. Where Bhagavad Gita ends, Bhagavad Gita, teachings of Bhagavad Gita ends at the point when Krishna says, Sarva dharman parittajya mamekam saranam, to surrender. And the Bhagavad begins from that point. Janmadasya jataha sattam param dhimai. Sattam param dhimai, surrender. Otherwise, next paragraph of the Srimad Bhagavatam in the beginning, Dharma projita koitavatra. Except surrendering to Krishna, there cannot be any religious system. The real religious system, therefore Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam. That is religion, to surrender to Krishna. Otherwise, as it is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, dharma projita koitavatra, all cheating type of religious system is kicked out from Srimad Bhagavatam. Kicked out, projita. To merge into the Supreme, to become God, to become incarnation of God. This kind of religious system is very rigidly kicked out from Srimad Bhagavatam because they are not religion. Real religion is to surrender to Krishna. Therefore it is said, Jat tat sakshat bhagavato vritam. If you want to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then you must abide by the order of the Supreme Personality. But they have no idea who is Supreme Personality of Godhead, what is his order, what is our relationship with it. These things are unknown. It is simply known to the, devotees. Why it is monopolized by the devotees, that is also answered in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhaktyamam avijanati javan jasyami tattva. If you want to know what is God, what is Krishna, then you have to go through this bhakti marga or devotion. There is no other way. Krishna never says that he can be known through speculation or cultivation of so-called speculative knowledge. No. Then he would have said, through jnana one can understand. No. Neither karma one can understand, neither yoga. This is explained in many various places of this earth. Only bhakti. Only bhakti. And it is the duty of the spiritual master or Mahatma to spread bhakti card. That is the most confident. That is the most merciful humanitarian activity. Because people are suffering for want of this knowledge. Therefore, our Krishna consciousness movement is the only movement, I can declare very proud, which can actually do some benefit to the human society. It is the only movement. All other bogus movement, I declare. Let them come and study the shastras and decide for themselves. They are all cheating. Only this Bhagavad Bhakti. Because you cannot understand Bhagavan without undergoing the process of devotional service. Bhaktyamam avijanati javan jasyami tattva. If you want to know in truth, tattva, Krishna wants that one should understand him, tattva, not that superficially to take Krishna, that he was very fond of the gopis, and let us hear the Leela of Krishna. Why Krishna's gopis Leela? Why not Krishna's Leela killing the demons? That the people are not interested to hear about Krishna's killing the demons. Because the gopis Leela, it appears to be the transaction between young woman and man. It very quickly appears. But Krishna's other business is there. Paritrana sadhunam vinasaya duskitam. That is also Krishna's Leela. That is Krishna's Leela, just like Lord Ramchandra is killing the Ravana. That is also Krishna's Leela. Lord Ramchandra's Leela and Krishna's Leela, there is So, we should take any Leela of Krishna as supreme. Not that simply the most confident, the Vrindavan Leela, Krishna's Leela with the gopis is the most confidential Leela. we should not entertain this confidential lila unless we are liberated. It is very difficult subject, and because they cannot understand what is Krishna's lila, they imitate, they fall down. There are so many things we do not wish to discuss. But we should be, if we are actually serious about advancing in Krishna lila, then we must know first of all what is Krishna, what he desires, and how he shall act. Then we can enter into the confidential part of Krishna's lila. Otherwise we shall misunderstand and fall down. So here it is said that Sakshat Bhagavato Uditam. What is Bhagavata? Bhagavan, Krishna never says that first of all you hear my lila with the gopis. He never says that. He first of all says that you surrender unto me. First of all, learn how to surrender to Krishna. First of all, learn how to love Krishna. Then you can taste what is Krishna's lila with the gopis. It is just like Mukharavinda. Just like Krishna's lila in the Dasama Skanda with the gopis is compared with the Krishna's face, smiling face. But we have to worship Krishna beginning with his feet, not immediately. We shall look to the face of Krishna. We shall misunderstand. First of all, try to be Krishna's devotee by offering your worshipable things at the lotus feet of Krishna. The first canto or second canto of Bhagavad Gita are the true lotus feet of Krishna. So, from the very beginning, we should hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Gradually, we shall come to the face. That is real understanding of Krishna. And without understanding of the other 9 cantos of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, if we simply jump over the 10th canto, and especially to the 35th chapter, 5 chapters, Rasa Panchadhyaya, this is not very favorable. Of course it is favorable. Krishna's lila, you hear anyway, this way, that way. But if we misunderstand Krishna, then there is fall down. That is instructed by Srila Sukadeva Goswami, that don't try to understand Krishna's lila all of a sudden without understanding Krishna. Tattva. So, regulative principle to serve, as it is stated in the Shastra, or as it is enjoined by the spiritual master. Ado sadhya tato sadhu sangha, tato bhajana kriya athanartha nivittisya, tato nishtha tato ruchi, tatha shakti tato bhava, sadhukanam premna pradudbhave bhavet kramaha. Krama. So, Dinavasala, the Mahatmas who instructed Narad Muni, that here is the confidence, knowledge. Please fully surrender unto the lotus feet of Krishna. So, Narad Muni admits here, Annavochan Gamishanta. Gamishanta, when the Mahatmas were going, he sat for 4 months, so they become very happy, they become very pleased. This is the business, how to make the Mahatma pleased. Jasya prasadat bhagavat prasad. If you try to please Mahatma, the spiritual master, then bhagavat prasada will automatically come. Jasya prasadat bhagavat prasad. So here it says, Annabhutan Gavishanta, Kripaya. Kripaya Dinavastra. Actually, Vaishnava is Dinavastra. They are very unhappy. Just like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was unhappy seeing the people, degenerated people suffering in this material world. Prahlad Maharaj said to Nishingadev, my dear sir, I have no problem. I am happy anywhere by chanting your whole, by glorifying your activities. But I am simply morose, seeing the fallen down condition. Maya sukhaya bharamud bhato vimura. I am simply thinking of these rascals who for flickering happiness engage themselves in so many material activities, forgetting your relationship. So Dinasala, the sadhu, they should be very much compassionate to the suffering humanity and give them the message which is spoken directly by Krishna, Sarvadharman Parityajya Maha. This is the mission of Krishna consciousness. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for listening. This is another wonderful lecture by Srila Prabhupada, packed with so much that that we can learn from. So again, dear devotees, please unmute, talk about your takeaways. Let's have discussions about this. There's so much to learn from this. Hare Krishna. So if you want to start, please unmute and get started right now. And let's have a wonderful, wonderful sadhu sangha in discussion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances, August
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna.
Just want to let you know that Mother Gita is not able to get on audio because of her health. But if she has points, she will try, if she can, to put it on the chat. But what I would like to share was the initial part of the lecture where Srila Prabhupada was really stressing the importance of a spiritual master. That was my takeaway, and then I think he used in fact, I liked how Srila Prabhupada said that, a businessman, when they're trying to get a business or agreement or a firm, they try to impress the representative. I like how he used that word, impress a representative. So I was really appreciating how Srila Prabhupada is always reminding us how important it is to have a spiritual master. And I was also reading yesterday that a spiritual master is the direct representative of Krishna. And it's very important that we have to go through the spiritual master to go to Krishna. We cannot skip the presence and the position of the guru. So that was my takeaway. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. A very important point that you made about the first, in the beginning, that Srila Prabhupada talked about how it's very important to go to the representative first of a business to impress, the business. And in countries, sometimes when another country wants to connect with or say something very important, they go to the ambassador for that particular country, that representative. It's also a representative, representing the country, representing the president or prime minister, like that. Very important point. Thank you for bringing it up. Any other takeaways that the devotees would like? Please unmute yourself or put it in the chat. Whichever one that you want to discuss would be very nice. Unmute yourself to do that. Okay, so while you're thinking about it, this is some of my takeaways. So, Shakshat Daritvena Samasta Shastra. Guru is actually, the Shastras confirm the position of Guru, that is representative of Krishna. Krishna, and Guru also talked about Krishna personally giving the most confidential knowledge. And Guru, a bona fide Guru, speaks what Krishna says directly. Anything beyond the knowledge spoken by Krishna is ignorance. And he said that too. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, texts 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, he gave points, qualities that devotees should very much try to get up to and stand it in their lives, beginning from humility, And then he says, all of this is knowledge, Arjuna. I declare to you all, and anything outside of this is ignorance. Srila Prabhupada is repeating here. And Krishna is giving the confidential knowledge, and Guru also speaks what Krishna says directly. And then he talked about in the last 50 to 100 years, there's so many swamis from India. They went to the Western countries, but they couldn't turn anyone to become a devotee of Krishna. But the saintly persons, they deliver the same confidential knowledge. It's because these people that when they polluted the real knowledge, and therefore the effect was not there. They couldn't. Then one more point was that he said many times, Srila Prabhupada said many times, those in the material world, they're very poor. Why? Because their knowledge is meager. They don't have the real knowledge that liberates a person completely. They are thinking of trying to make life comfortable here in the material world in this lifetime. And some also kind of lead life in such a way based on a religion that they can go to the higher planets in the material world, the heavenly planets, but nobody has that kind of knowledge that would relieve everybody from, or lead that person from the material world into the spiritual world, and the devotees have that kind of knowledge. So these people that preach that the knowledge that takes people to the heavenly planets, they're not Mahatmas, they are, Duratmas. Prabhupada just comes directly and say, And they also sometimes, some of them are so egotistic, they say, think of them rather than think of Krishna. So these are all very important points that Krishna, Srila Prabhupada was explaining. And so that's some of my takeaway. Devotees, you can unmute yourself if you want to say some more, or even type in the chat and we'll read it too. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, that was wonderful, and that was pranam to all the devotees. Yeah, that was a wonderful point, and my takeaway was similar.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
There's some echo on when you're speaking. We can hear you speak, but there's also echo behind it. So if you can fix it such that it doesn't happen. We very much want to hear you, but can you fix?
Can he repeat his point? I want to hear it. I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, but there was some echo. Point. There was echo behind when you were speaking.
Okay.
Still echo is there, bro?
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's still. Another mic is open, something near you that is also picking up and causing this to happen. So try to do the.
Still echoing?
Anyway, go ahead. We can hear you though.
I think there is I was on another class and they asked me to turn on different settings, so probably that's causing. So it's okay. Able to hear?
We can hear you, Prabhu, but it's like a reverb, like an echo, and your words are duplicating, so it's hard to hear your real actual words.
I see. Some settings probably causing issue.
Can you type on the chat? And I
can type on the chat.
Okay. All right. So thank you. So he'll type later on, and as soon as it comes up, then we'll read it. Any other person that wants to share their realizations here? Unmute yourself and do, please. It's our misfortune that we can't hear today. We're not going to be able to hear.
Oh, there's Hemant.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I think from this class, last point, like Prabhupada said, like don't try to judge the leelas of Krishna without understanding Krishna. You may misunderstand those things. So without understanding Krishna, we shouldn't judge the acts that Krishna performed. So I think that is my takeaway. First we have to understand Krishna. Yeah, I'll try to do that.
That's very good. We all trying to do that. We have to understand Krishna by Krishna's instructions, and he says, Bhakti-amam abhijanati, Srila Prabhupada quoted that also. The only way to get to Krishna is from devotional service. And And some people just try to cut corners, but you can never reach Krishna that way. And of course, not to mention the fact that they can't get out of the material world, the spiritual world either, if they do that. So thank you for that realization, that takeaway that you repeated here. It's very important that we all remember, remember that. Hare Krishna. Any more?
If I can add a point following up with Hemant's feedback, very nice takeaway actually, is as he was speaking, I was remembering that Srila Prabhupada says that the prerequisite of Bhagavatam is Bhagavad Gita. And when he was saying that, I was when Hemant was speaking, that we have to really understand and know Krishna before we misjudge Krishna's pastimes, is because that is why Srila Prabhupada said that it's so important that we read the Bhagavad Gita first and then the Bhagavatam. And also, I don't know if you mentioned this lecture because I had to step away for a few minutes, but Srila Prabhupada has also reiterated this point of the importance of, even when we read Bhagavatam, we should not jump to the 10th canto and the 11th and 12th. We should start from the first canto and build our way up. And again, alluding to the same point that Hemant said. So we do not misjudge the pastimes of the Lord. We need to understand Krishna's position. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yes. And as Srila Prabhupada explained, that a person should offer obeisances by, if we see the deity, you look at the deity's lotus feet first, and then up to later, gradually up to the face. And when he related the face and then the lotus feet, he said that the lotus feet is the first and second cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then the 10th canto is where you're up in Krishna's smiling face. Is related that way to him. So yes, it is very, very important. And then you also mentioned that yes, you have to read Bhagavad Gita, discuss Bhagavad Gita, and without understanding of Bhagavad Gita, then you'll be able to dive into Srimad Bhagavatam and get some great benefits from it. Hare Krishna. So any other takeaway? On the chat, okay, so Nichigo Prabhu has typed something on the chat now, so this is wonderful. Now I can read it. Hare Krishna. My takeaway is the reason any person did not turn in Krishna consciousness, because, okay, the defect was that they did not say what Krishna says directly. Yes, they say in their own words, they manufacture their own philosophy. Exactly, Mr. Prabhupada says. And then he calls those people Duratmas. Mahatma is the one that says, like Krishna says, repeating Krishna's words. So his Prabhu's takeaway is that the reason a person they don't turn to Krishna consciousness because they have the defect of not saying what Krishna says directly. So the learning, what to learn from it is don't manufacture your own philosophy. The only extent that anybody can go when saying Krishna's words is, one, repeat his words as he says it. And then if you're going to give examples, you give examples of maybe current things that relate to the verse, but does not change the meaning of the verse or what Krishna says. So that is always there in so many ways. People get into different types of examples, but the Mahatma never changes what Krishna says. Krishna says religion is surrender unto him. They would not say anything different. So Srila Prabhupada said, Krishna says, Sarvadharma Parityaja, surrender unto me, abandon all varieties of religion and surrender to me. Guru says, surrender to Krishna. Same thing. So when we say things in our own words, and manufacturing them, we become Duratmas. But when we say things that Krishna says directly, that is what's wanted. That's what makes devotees. And Srila Prabhupada said that's why he was able to get the people to become devotees of Krishna, because when he came to the West, he didn't manufacture things, he didn't change things. He said it just like Krishna says in the Shastra. And that's what changed He says, I'm not bragging. So I'm not bragging. I just spoke what Krishna spoke in the Shastra. And lo and behold, people became devotees. So if you don't do that, then you become a bogus person. And then he challenged the other person. The Krishna consciousness is the only movement that can benefit society. Because the other things, everything else bogus, and he challenged, let them come and study the Shastra and decide for themselves. So we have a very, very bold guru because he is fully representing Krishna in truth, what Krishna says. And when the truth is spoken, it can be spoken boldly. And that's why Srila Prabhupada speaks boldly like that. He says, not because he's bragging, not because he's done better than other people who came from India here. No, he came to speak the words of Krishna directly, and he did not pollute it. That is the difference. Hare Krishna. Any other takeaways? Right, I don't hear any, so would like to thank all of you for coming into this Zoom program this morning and getting blessed by Srila Prabhupada's own words, own preaching. And there's so much that we can learn. It always improves our lives when we hear from Srila Prabhupada's lectures. So have a wonderful rest of your week. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.